Hi everyone, welcome to the very first Behind the Pages of the book of Benjamin Kareth. This episode is about the very first book, part 1, Where All Journeys Begin. My name is Elijah Cohen and I'm the author of Where All Journeys Begin and the book of Benjamin Kareth book series.
Chapter 1. Field. It had been a rough day, and everything seemed to have gone wrong at work. No one was happy, and everything I tried to do just seemed to fall apart. I left work and drove the 30-minute commute home, passing from the city where I worked out into the country where my small house sat. I enjoyed living far from the busyness of the city, and I loved living alone. I had never been very sociable, and it seemed that the few friends I had at work, if I could call them that, kept a respectable distance. Being alone was safe. I couldn't hurt anyone, and I couldn't be hurt.
So let's dive into Behind the Pages and tell you a little bit about where this book came from and its origins, starting point, all of that. I have to start with when I was a kid, I began to write a lot of stories. I remember being very imaginative and creative as a child, and I loved to make up stories, tell stories, was just a huge part of who I was. And so I wrote a lot when I was a kid. When I got to college, I changed my major in college like 5 times, couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, and finally landed on creative writing, literary writing. So I took 64 credit hours of creative writing in college. And after that, I kind of fell out of love with it. I don't particularly enjoy writing, which is not something most people know about me, or should know about an author, I guess. But I'm good at it. And so this book, Where All Journeys Begin, was originally written in 2012. Over the summer. I wrote it in about 3.5 months. It was originally titled The Journey, and I wrote it back when my name was Daniel Cole. And if you search Amazon.com, you can find The Journey by Daniel Cole is still listed as unpublished, but it's still on there. And then fast forward to the birth of the book of Benjamin Kareth, and I just understood that The Journey was going to be the first book, part 1, and I changed its title to Where All Journeys Begin because it was the first book. And The Journey is a book about, as a Christian, we have this moment where we're really challenged with our faith and what we believe. And I think that's what I was exploring through this journey that God took me on. So in the book, the main character has just this really normal life, that he works the job and he goes home every day and he has his own space and he's just living his natural life. And he has this relationship with God that's very deep, and as you read and you go through the story, you kind of get the sense that he's known and walked with God for a very long time, even though it doesn't seem to really have much influence on his life. And that's when he's drawn into this journey with the Dark One, who's supposed to be Satan in the story, but he's just called the Dark One. And so there's a train coming. I live in a town where there's a train that drives through town every single day, multiple times a day, so you can hear the horn. And I'm just going to let it go through because this is part of my life now as I write these books. So you get to enjoy it as well. And I feel like some of the train engineers are a little bit more gusto on their horn than others, but there's a main road that's right by my apartment, and so the train comes by, and every time he hits a main street he has to blow his horn. So all times of the day, this is what I hear. And the train goes down into my town and it wraps around, so there's multiple points as it goes through the city. Not relevant to this video or this book, but it's part of my life writing this series. So now you get to experience that as well. So as the main character of the book begins this journey, he's taken and he takes on the roles of Adam and Eve, or Adam to begin with, and then he's taken through different individuals in the life of Christ, leading up to the crucifixion. And this book it's the gospel. It's the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's the good news. That's what this book is, just told in kind of a supernatural spiritual journey. So that's what the book is about. As I was writing it, I felt like it was a really deep journey for myself into my own faith, and answering the question, like, what do I really believe? This is back when I wasn't really walking with the Lord at all. I had a relationship with God, but I was just living for myself in 2012. And I just really was wrestling with a lot of things, and I've always held on to my faith in Christ. And so this book is really solidified my faith in God, and my just my expression of that. So that's kind of the background and the backstory behind the pages of this book. Mike Whitehood did the narration for the audiobook, and those are the clips you've been hearing along the way through this video. He did such a good job with the characters and with the main character, and just telling the story, so props to him. Thank you, Mike, for doing the narration of this book. If you want to pick it up, the book's available on Amazon.com, on paperback and hardbook and Kindle, and it's also, the audiobook's available on Audible, and it's also available on iTunes. And thank you very much for watching. And if you like this video and you like hearing the backstory and diving into the book, then please like, subscribe, and comment on this video so that I know to do more of them, about more of the books of the series. So yeah, thank you for watching.